Okay, so today we're going to talk about the skeletal system. Again, this is just an introduction to the skeletal system. As the year goes on, we'll be talking more in depth about the skeletal system, the type of bones and the function and how bone is formed and all that will come later on. Right now, we're just doing a general overview. So what makes up the skeletal system? Well, the first thing are the bones. And this is something that everybody pretty much knows, because whenever you see a skeleton, you're looking at bones, so everybody knows that bones make up the skeletal system. The second thing is something called cartilage. Now, you have cartilage in several areas of your body. If you've ever eaten like a chicken wing, not a chicken, or chicken wing, usually you can see it on the legs of chicken. Let's say this is the bone here, okay, this is bone. And then what you'll see on top of the bone is there's usually a little gray thing that's up there. So next time you're eating a chicken leg, look for a little covering that goes over the top of the bone. And this is cartilage. Now basically, the function of cartilage is to kind of act like a shock absorber to the body, to the bones, because as the bones move, the cartilage, you have cartilage on both sides, what they'll do is they'll actually protect the bone. They act kind of like a shock absorber. So what happens is, as you get older and this wears out, you start to get something called osteoarthritis. You also have cartilage on your nose, you have cartilage in your ears. So cartilage is all over. You have cartilage that's up in here, that's basically at the top of the jaw. It's like a disc, and when you don't move properly over it, it causes something called TMJ, temporal mandibular joint disorders. The other thing is, in bones, is you have bone marrow. You have bone marrow. So bone marrow makes blood. When you see a dog eat the bone, a lot of times the dog's not necessarily eating the bone because it likes the bone. It wants the bone marrow, the blood that's out of the middle. Okay, and when I say it makes blood, it's going to make red blood cells. RBC stands for red blood cells, and white blood cells. Okay, so that's basically the parts that make up the skeletal system. Now, there's two parts to the skeletal system. And basically you have your axial skeleton. So I always like to tell people the axial skeleton is the part that goes straight down the middle. So what you're going to have is you're going to have your skull. Okay? You are going to have your spinal column. You also have the part that's right in the middle here, your breastplate, which we call the sternum. So I'm just going to kind of draw that out over in here. This is going to be the sternum. Okay. You also have your ribs. So let me just draw a few ribs coming around here, and a few ribs over here. All right. So we also have our ribs, and then at the bottom we have the sacrum. Okay, so that's going to make up the axial skeleton, are those pieces there. Everything else that's not included in here, such as the bones in your arms, the bones in your shoulders, your legs, the rest of your pelvis, that's all called the appendicular skeleton. So your appendicular skeleton is basically everything else. Okay, so that's basically going to be everything else that you have in your body as far as bones and cartilage go. Okay, and that's it with the introduction to the skeletal system. Like I said, later on in the year, we're going to be looking more into what exactly the skeletal system does. And if you look at some of my other videos, you'll see I go over the parts of the bones of the body. So that's it. Thanks for watching.